quiet neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A warm summer night, and a woman walking into her home, completely unaware that her life is about to change forever. Within the next few hours, she would be stalked, hunted, shot multiple times, run over by a truck, and abandoned like trash in her own yard. But somehow, against all odds, she survived. And the man responsible? Not a stranger hiding in the shadows, not a masked intruder. It was someone she trusted, someone she once considered a friend. This is the horrifying true story of Christine Kent and Alan Sinclair. Fort Lauderdale, Florida is known for beaches, nightlife, and beautiful weather. For Christine Kent, it felt like paradise. After visiting the city years earlier, she instantly fell in love with the area and decided to make it her home. She dreamed of building a peaceful future there, maybe even starting a family someday. Christine worked full-time at a doctor's office, helping patients with pain management treatments. She was friendly, outgoing, and compassionate. The kind of person who naturally made people feel comfortable around her. But outside of work, Christine had another job. On weekends, she modeled at gun and knife shows across South Florida. And while the work paid well, it also attracted attention from all kinds of men. Some were harmless, some were awkward, and some made her deeply uncomfortable. One day, a quiet man named Alan Sinclair walked into the medical office where Christine worked. He complained about back pain and needed treatment. At first glance, Alan seemed shy and harmless. A little socially awkward, maybe, but polite. After his appointment, Alan started flirting with Christine almost immediately. He asked her out to dinner right there in the office. Christine laughed politely and explained that employees weren't allowed to date patients. But Alan didn't seem ready to give up. A short time later, Alan appeared again, this time at one of the gun shows where Christine was modeling. At first, she thought it was just coincidence. Alan acted friendly and charming. He even stepped in when another man at the event was making Christine uncomfortable. Slowly, he began earning her trust. He visited her booth multiple times during different events, always polite, always helpful, always nearby. Too nearby. Eventually, Christine agreed to spend time with him outside of work. She thought maybe she had judged him too quickly. One evening, Alan picked her up for what she believed would be a casual drink near the beach. But instead, he drove her to a park where he had prepared a full romantic picnic. Wine, blankets, snacks, music. Christine was caught completely off guard. She appreciated the effort, but she didn't feel a romantic connection. To her, Alan was only a friend. And the moment she made that clear, everything changed. Alan's entire personality shifted instantly. His face hardened. His tone became cold. Like a switch flipped inside him. Without another word, he angrily packed everything up and drove her back in silence. After that night, Christine stopped hearing from him. Almost a full year passed without contact. Then one day, she unexpectedly ran into Alan at a hardware store. He seemed calmer now, more mature, more stable. He offered to help her build flower boxes for her home, and because he worked in the lumber department, Christine accepted. The two slowly became friends again. Alan helped around her house, built things for her garden, prepared her home before hurricanes. He became dependable, always available whenever she needed help. But emotional attachment was quietly growing stronger inside Alan's mind. The problem was, Christine still didn't see him romantically. At one point, Alan even dated one of Christine's friends for several months. But according to people close to him, he still seemed emotionally attached to Christine. And whenever another man entered Christine's life, Alan became visibly jealous. especially after he discovered she was seriously dating someone else. One day, while helping her prepare her home for an incoming hurricane, Alan saw another man stop by to check on her. The atmosphere changed immediately. Alan accused her of wasting his time and stormed out angrily. Not long after that, Christine decided to officially cut ties with him. She told him she didn't see a future between them. Alan became humiliated, furious, and disappeared from her life completely. Years passed. No calls, no messages, nothing. Until one terrifying night. Christine had just returned home after dinner and grocery shopping. She was alone, unpacking groceries in the kitchen, when suddenly someone knocked at the door. It was Alan. He smiled casually and claimed he had been traveling and working as a photographer. Then he asked if he could quickly show her some photos from an air show. Christine felt slightly uncomfortable with the surprise visit, but Alan had once been her friend, and refusing him felt rude. So she let him inside. The two sat together looking through photos on his laptop. Planes, crowds, action shots. Everything appeared completely normal, until the slideshow suddenly repeated itself. Alan quietly stood up behind her, and then she heard the sound of a gun being cocked. "Don't turn around." In that instant, Christine truly believed she was about to die. Her mind flooded with terrifying thoughts. She imagined blood covering the walls. She imagined never seeing her family again. But instead of screaming, she stayed calm. Christine realized that panic would only get her killed. So she began talking to him softly, trying to comfort him, trying to calm him down, all while secretly inching closer toward the front door, second by second, step by step. Then suddenly, Christine made a run for it. Gunshots exploded through the night. Alan shot her multiple times as she tried escaping for her life. But the nightmare still wasn't over. After shooting her, Alan dragged her outside. Then he climbed into his truck and deliberately ran her over. He believed she was dead, so he dumped her body near bushes beside the house and left her there, alone in the dark.
Bleeding heavily, unable to feel her legs, Christine begged for help, praying someone would hear her before it was too late. Neighbors heard the gunshots and finally called police. Moments later, officers arrived and found Christine barely alive. Meanwhile, Alan had locked himself inside his truck in an apparent suicide attempt. But police captured him before he could die. Inside the vehicle, investigators discovered something horrifying. Duct tape, knives, latex gloves, condoms, homemade restraints. Detectives quickly realized this attack may have been planned for something even more terrifying than murder. Christine underwent emergency surgery and barely survived her injuries. Doctors discovered she had not only been shot, but also crushed after being run over. Alan Sinclair was charged with attempted first-degree murder. He later received a life sentence without parole. But despite everything Alan did to destroy her, Christine refused to let him take her spirit too. Over time, she rebuilt her life piece by piece. She even went on to compete in marathons with disabled athletes, proving her strength to the world. Her story became more than a survival story. It became a reminder that evil doesn't always appear dangerous in the beginning. Sometimes, monsters arrive smiling. Sometimes, they earn your trust first. And sometimes, the person you least fear becomes the one fighting hardest to destroy you.